Hello, our amazing students, and welcome back to the Talk English Show. We're so excited to have you join us today. We've got a really juicy topic that's super practical, right?
Absolutely. Hey everyone. Today, we're diving into something we all do, something that can sometimes feel a little intimidating, especially in a new language: how to confidently order food at a restaurant. It's such a fundamental skill, and we're going to break it down for you step by step.
That's right. And before we jump in, a quick humble request. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button for the Talk English channel. It truly helps us out so much to keep creating these free, helpful lessons for you all. So, go on, give us a click.
Every subscription means the world. Now, let's get into it. Whether you're in a cozy little cafe, a bustling diner, or a fancy restaurant, these phrases are going to be your best friends. The key, as always, is practice. Remember to repeat after us. This isn't just listening, it's shadowing practice. It will seriously boost your speaking and pronunciation.
Exactly. So let's kick things off with that very first question you'll almost always hear when you sit down. Your server will often ask, "Are you ready to order?" So what are your options here?
Well, you've got a couple of straightforward responses. You can simply say, "Yes, I'm ready." Or, if you need a moment, which, let's be honest, we often do when faced with a delicious-looking menu, you can politely ask, "Can I see the menu, please?"
Good job. Let's practice that. Try saying it with us now. "Can I see the menu, please?" Or, "I'm ready to order." Practice makes perfect. Now, let's imagine you've glanced at the menu, but you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, or maybe you just want some insider info. What can you ask then?
This is where you can really engage with your server. You can say, "What do you recommend?" This shows you're open to suggestions. Or, if you're looking for something unique that day, you might ask, "What is the special today?" Often, the specials are fresh and seasonal, which is great.
Perfect. Let's repeat those. What do you recommend? And what is the special today? Nice work. Now, this is your turn. Try saying these sentences out loud. Don't worry if you stumble a bit. Making mistakes is part of learning, right? Practice is genuinely the key.
Totally. Once you have that menu in hand and you've made your decision, it's time for the main event, actually ordering your food. So, what are some polite ways to tell them what you want, Speaker 1?
Well, you can start with, "I would like the chicken salad, please." Or, if you're going for something classic, "Can I have a hamburger and fries?" The crucial part there, you noticed it, right? It's that little word, please. It makes all the difference. It makes your English polite and friendly.
Absolutely. Politeness goes a long way. And hey, you'll probably want a drink with that meal. For a drink, you can simply say, "Can I have a glass of water?" Or, "I would like a cup of coffee." Simple, direct, and polite. Easy peasy.
Now, sometimes you might have questions about the food itself. Maybe you're sensitive to spice or you have a preference. What are some good ways to ask those kinds of questions?
Excellent point. This is super important. You can ask, "Is this dish spicy?" to avoid a surprise. Or, "Does it have cheese?" if you're not a fan or perhaps you're lactose intolerant. These are really good questions because they help you choose exactly what you like and avoid anything you don't want or can't eat.
Good questions indeed. Let's practice these sentences together now. Repeat after me. "I would like the chicken salad, please." "Can I have a hamburger and fries?" "Can I have a glass of water?" "Is this dish spicy?" And finally, "Does it have cheese?" Excellent. Now you try. Say one of these sentences out loud. Go on, give it a shot.
Great job. Keep practicing. The more you say these phrases, the more natural they'll feel. You'll be ordering like a pro in no time. So, you've placed your order for food and drinks. What comes next in the restaurant experience, Speaker 1?
That's a fantastic question because the interaction doesn't always stop there. Sometimes the waiter or waitress will ask if you want anything else to start or finish your meal. They want to make sure you have the full experience.
That's right. They might ask, "Would you like any appetizers?" Or, "Do you want some dessert?" Let's quickly explain those terms for anyone new to them. An appetizer, also sometimes called a starter, is a small dish you eat before your main meal. Think soup, a small salad, or some bread. They just help to take the edge off your hunger while you wait for your main course to arrive.
And then, of course, there's dessert, my favorite part of any meal. What's dessert, Speaker 2?
Dessert is something sweet you enjoy at the very end of your meal. Things like ice cream, a slice of cake, or fresh fruit. So, if your server asks, "Would you like any appetizers?" you can respond with a simple, "No thank you," or, "Yes, I would like some soup, please." Same goes for dessert. Yes, please, I'd like the chocolate cake. Or, no thank you. Always remember those magic words, please and thank you. They just make the whole interaction so much more pleasant.
Absolutely. Politeness is key. And here's another super useful phrase. What if you need a little more time to decide? The menu is huge, you're chatting with your friends, you just can't pick. You can say, "Can I have a few more minutes, please?" That lets your waiter know you're still deciding, and they'll appreciate the heads up.
That is such a useful phrase because, let's be real, choosing can be tough, especially with so many tasty options. Another important thing to consider is the price. If you're unsure about how much something costs, it's totally fine to ask. You can say, how much is the pasta? Or, what's the price of the soup? This way you can make sure your meal fits your budget and there are no surprises when the bill comes.
Good point. It's always good to be informed. Now, let's practice these sentences together. Repeat after me. Would you like any appetizers? Do you want some dessert? Can I have a few more minutes, please? How much is the pasta? And what's the price of the soup? Great job. Now imagine you're sitting in a restaurant. Try saying one of these questions or answers out loud. Don't worry about perfection. Just try to get the words out.
That's it. Remember, speaking slowly and clearly really helps people understand you better. And also, remember to listen carefully to the waiter's answers. Communication is a two-way street, right? Okay, friends, that's it for this segment. Keep practicing these useful phrases. They will genuinely help you feel so much more confident when ordering food.
Yes, and practice with a friend, a teacher, or even by yourself in front of a mirror. The more you speak, the easier and more natural it gets. Keep up the great work, everyone. All right, let's talk about something very important. When your food finally arrives, that exciting moment.
Yes. When the waiter brings your food, they might say something like, "Here you go," or "Enjoy your meal." And you, of course, can respond with a warm "Thank you," or "Thanks, it looks great." You can even add something extra nice like, "It smells delicious," or "I'm excited to eat."
Those are lovely, polite responses. Now, after you start eating, you might want to tell the waiter what you think. If everything is wonderful, you could say, "This is really good," or "I like this a lot." But what if something isn't quite right? We've all been there, right? What if the food is cold or too spicy? You need to say something politely.
Exactly. Politeness is key, even when there's an issue. For example, you can say, "Excuse me, this soup is cold." Or, "Sorry, but this is a bit too spicy for me." Notice how you start with "excuse me" or "sorry." That softens the complaint. And if you need something extra, like more water or a napkin, just ask, "Can I have some more water, please?" Or, "Could I get a napkin?" It's always good to speak clearly and with a bit of a smile. It really helps the staff understand you better and be more accommodating.
Absolutely. A smile goes a long way. Let's practice some of these together. Repeat after me. Thank you. It looks great. It smells delicious. Excuse me, this soup is cold. Can I have some more water, please? And finally, could I get a napkin? Great job. Now you can talk not only when ordering, but also during the meal. That's a huge step.
It really is. Talking in English in a real restaurant can feel a bit scary, I know. But you are getting better every single day. You're doing amazing, honestly. Just keep practicing and we're so proud of you. We're right here to help you speak more naturally. All right, Speaker One, what's next?
All right, friends. Now let's talk about the grand finale of your meal. Paying the bill. It's an essential part of the experience, and you need to know how to navigate it gracefully.
Yes, definitely. When you're all finished eating and ready to leave, you can say, "Can I have the bill, please?" Or you might hear, "Can I get the check, please?" A little cultural note here. In British English, they typically say bill, and in American English, it's more common to hear check. Both are perfectly fine to use. Just pick one you're comfortable with. And yes, don't forget that magic word, please, for politeness.
That's right. Please is your best friend. When the waiter brings the bill, it's a good idea to quickly check it, just to make sure everything is correct. If you spot an error, like something you didn't order, you can politely say, "Excuse me, I didn't order this," or "This is not my drink." If everything looks fine, you can simply say, "Everything looks good," and then proceed to pay.
Right. Payment options vary. Sometimes you pay with cash, sometimes with a credit card. If you want to pay with a card, you can ask, "Can I pay by card?" Or, "Do you take credit cards?" And if you're paying with cash and need change, you might ask, "Do you have change for this?" Also, and this is important in many countries, People leave a tip for the waiter as a thank you for good service. You can say, "I'd like to leave a tip," or simply leave the money on the table. A tip is usually around 10 to 15% of the total bill, just so you know.
That's a super helpful explanation about tipping. Let's review these crucial phrases. Repeat after us. Can I have the bill, please? Can I pay by card? Do you take credit cards? Excuse me, I didn't order this. And I'd like to leave a tip. Great job. Now you know how to finish your restaurant politely and clearly. You are learning so fast. And it's not just about the food. It's about building confidence and communication skills.
That's right. We truly believe in you, so keep going. So far, you've learned how to order, ask questions, handle the meal, and even pay at a restaurant. But what if you have, some special needs or requests? What then, Speaker 1?
That's a fantastic point because it happens all the time.